Go Williams. That's right, it's your boy! Coming at you on a Thursday, as I always love to do, because Thursday's my favorite day of the week. Why? Well, I was born on a Thursday, 11:47 a.m. Woo! So happy to be back with y'all, as I love to do. I love it, I love it, I love it. And here we are. Black History Month. We are at the start of Black History Month. It's February the 4th, 2021, and things are a little bit different. It just feels different this year. I don't know, but it just feels different this year. Shout out to my boy Raz, wearing that Rosa Parks exclusive jersey from Black History Month basketball game. Oh man, we back to it, man. We back to it. So let's get started. This is how Black History Month started. Now y'all know I love me some King James. I love LeBron James. We call him Prune in my hood. Now why do we call him Prune? Well, every time he did something back in the day, back in the early 2000s and all that, when he first came, matter of fact, back in his 8th grade, back when he was at the school, where he went to, Bethel, something like that. I don't know. You know he went to school. Oak Hill. Oh no, he didn't go to Oak Hill. You know where the boy went to. At any rate, just every time he made a move at his size, woo, just make you prune your face up, just like this. You know, for my listeners on Spotify and Apple and all that, shout out to Google Podcasts. Yeah, it just make your face just prune up. You ever just prune your face up? But at any rate, it starts with LeBron James down in Atlanta playing against the Hawks. And it was a typical basketball game. Now the Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks, are the first of 10, or one of the 10 venues in the NBA that allow fans in at this time. Now, that's just how Georgia do it. You knew some folks was gonna be down there and they was gonna do what they do. But LeBron James did what he does. He went down there, he performed, he played, because that's what professionals do. No rest days or nothing like that other LA team. Nothing like that. But LeBron went down there and played, and did his thing. Now, at some point, somebody in the crowd that is obviously an Atlanta Hawks fan, you just down there. That's where you live, so of course you're gonna be a fan. Cool, that's cool. But somebody got into a little back and forth. Him and another person. They were of the light skin persuasion, if you will. They got into a little match there, a little back and forth. You know, that happens at basketball games. And I feel like, that's something that they were missing. LeBron would go on to say that is something that he missed about the game. He missed the fans talking crazy or booing a little bit when you shoot a free throw, that thing. That's a part of the game. That's a part of the game. Whether you in elementary school, I can remember my grandma, and rest in peace, Miss Rowe. They be, I played for Longfellow, and her grandkids, shout out to Kelly King, shout out to Camille King. They played for a school called Claypool, and that's just competitive basketball. Y'all just be out in the stands talking, and that's okay. And but this person, they did a back and forth, but his wife decided to jump into it. Now his wife's name is Juliana Carlos, and now she looked to be made up a bit. Them lips was a little bit bigger than they probably was supposed to be, or they was meant to be. But the lips was there. The lips was there, and she said, "Stop! Don't talk to her husband that way. Don't talk to my husband that way, LeBron James. Who are you, child?" She got kicked out the game. She done said some stuff that LeBron would go on to say that it was a situation where, back and forth, that's cool. It is what it is. Russell Westbrook, now he ain't for none. But LeBron, he gonna let, you know how LeBron is. He always gonna be PC. He always gonna, it is what it is. Okay, cool. Stay at the game. And he admitted, he wouldn't have kicked him out. But he felt like, a little bit of alcohol was involved. And the people had to, the security at the game had to just go ahead and just get him on out of here. Just get him on out of here. Because she was taking it somewhere and it wouldn't have been about the game anymore. It would have been about them chirping back and forth, and they just need to do this game. So You know, that is what it is. But she has come back around and she has apologized for what she did. But child, let me tell you like this. She gained a lot of followers based off of this interaction with King James, LeBron James. So she may have gotten what she wanted. Now let's be clear. In this situation with this woman here, in some circles of men, that is what some men desire. She had what some men desire. Not exactly my cup of tea, but you know, it is what it is. And in some circles, she's an astoundingly beautiful woman. To me, you know, I'm in the beehive, so I got my standard of beauty, okay. But I'm not worried about that. We're not talking about that. That girl shot up to 83,200 followers. So she got some fans out there because of this interaction. But they got kicked out of there, and we are saying Happy Black History Month. And I'm not gonna say it from a race thing, because we're far from racist over this way. We don't do that. But we do acknowledge that some people have privileges that, you know, people that look different, they don't. So shout out to LeBron James. They came through with the W on them Hawks. But also he had a little, you know, there's a little bit of extra stuff going on. And that just is what it is. She got what she came for, but she did apologize for it, but she did get what she came for. So when she comes back out, she will be probably a real influence, or influencer, if you will, in some circles. So, hey, shout out to her. She did what needed to be done for her brand, and what she does. Cool. Speaking of basketball and shooting shots, did y'all see that video of that man went in his house and shot them people? Here, let me go ahead and preface this for you. So, you know, out east, Pennsylvania, they had a big snowstorm. Now, us in Indiana, we had a snowstorm ourselves, but you know, it gets a little bit deeper when, you know, we get to collect all that stuff like the spirit bomb and head out east. It's like that on the East Coast when they had snowstorms, and it's crazy. They had way more snow than us a lot of times. Man. So there's a couple that's shoveling snow out their driveway, trying to just go on about their business. You know how that goes. You shovel your snow. And the thing was, though, they didn't, you know, when you shovel snow, you take the snow and you put it on the side, on your line. You know, you got your driveway, and then you just take that snow, and then all my Cali people, I know y'all don't know nothing about this, so I'm explaining. Shout out to my people in Georgia. I know y'all show out off of 4 inches of snow. I know how y'all do. Y'all just oh, that's too slick. I know how y'all do. So let me explain it to you. So when you get a whole lot of snow, you got to shovel it out the driveway to make sure that you can make it inside, make it back to the house, and get out the house safely, because you still got to do what you got to do. Child, they took that snow and they put on that man's property. Now, the crazy part about this is the man's property is on the other side of the road. So you done took your snow and put it on the other side of the road. Instead of putting it to the side, you shoveled it down and put it in this man's yard. Now, he done asked that y'all would not do this anymore. So he was met with a whole bunch of vulgarities and whatnot. And the dude called him a female a sex organ, called him that multiple times. So he went in the house and got that. He went in the house and got that pistol. He shot a couple, I feel like, warning shots in their directions, but I think that something took over him, and he decided, and he got to thinking, what happened if I hit these people? What happened if I do that? Well, them couple of people that live across the road, they found out. They found out what happened when you think, what'll happen if I really shoot these people? So he shot them. He shot them multiple times, and until the clip was empty. Now, after the clip was empty, he went back inside and he went and got that old AR out there. and finished the job, killed both of the people, killed that couple of people. And then when the police arrived, he ended up killing himself. Listen, it's a tragic story all the way around. And I know people's like, dang, you like that off of snow removal? You came alive off of that? Well, this is a different world we living in right now. Excuse me. You don't know what nobody is going through. And I think that during this time of this pandemic and all that, we need to be more empathetic to one another than ever. Because you don't know what nobody is going through. We need to be kind to one another. I'm trying to tell you, you don't know what nobody is going through. And you know, we just talked about it earlier in one of our episodes with myself and the Alpha. One bad day. And we talked about Batman and we talked about Joker. And both of them had one bad day. And it pushed them to go to different sides and deal with that bad day, how they deal with it. You don't know. That man had a home over there and all that. And obviously he was armed all the way up. That was the last straw. So he went out there and shot them folk, and he came back out there, finished the job with his AR, and then he killed himself. Be kind to people, because I feel like this whole thing. Now they said that there was a lead up to it. There was a lot of back and forth between the two. What's the point of going and antagonizing people just for whatever? What's the point of being blatantly disrespectful to people? Because at some point, people gonna have enough. Okay? At some point, everybody has a limit. I feel like everybody has a limit. Some people's threshold is a little bit higher than other people. But in this situation, that boy was fed up that day. He had to have been, because it was just snow removal. But we can't look at it as it was just this simple thing. It's like, man, this dude is putting snow on my lawns, putting snow in my property. It was excuse me. It was deeper than that. It was much deeper than that. You never know what somebody else is going through. And I think that's why we need to go through in this world and live in a world of empathy. You know, we talked about the insurrection and all that stuff that was going down and all that was happening in the Capitol, you know, a few weeks back. But I think we really need to go back. We really need to be like humans and go back to that golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. Because that's what we all are. We always come with this division. And in a sense, the division in this sense was they just lived across the road from each other. That was enough to make that man want to commit murder. And even more than that, is enough to take his own life. So that being said, let's be more empathetic to each other, because I hate hearing it, stuff like this. This is a very small thing in a sense, but you never know what somebody is going through. So I would advise everybody to just be nice to one another. Be nice to one another. Be good. Just be good people. Be respectful of people next to you. That's all you got to do, and the world will be a much better place. That's where I'm at. Woo! But we got a Super Bowl coming up. But I'm going to get into that in a second, because I have something else that's going on currently. I actually want to talk about something beautiful that's going on in my home city. Muncie, if you will. There's a basketball league called Kings of the Court. Now, the commissioner here is Eric Jefferson. He's the commissioner. And they've been having a preseason. They had a draft for all this. They drafted these teams up, and I gotta give it up. This is something beautiful. So apparently they've been doing this for a long time. They're saying this is the 7th season of it. And I gotta say, it's gained so much popularity. I didn't know about it at all, this league at all, until recently, because like shout out to social media and then shout out to the pandemic going on. We hate the pandemic for what it is, but it makes you it allows you to see things that you hadn't seen before. And it's a group of, in a sense, no, it's not in a sense. These are basketball legends. These are basketball legends. And the commissioner today decided, after these preseason games, which he had on Instagram Live, Facebook Live and all that, he had it going on. I was able to watch every single game that happened on Facebook. So, y'all see anything about Kingston Court, anything like that, or Eric Jefferson, go ahead and follow, because this thing is huge. It has a lot of great names from my city. And, in Indiana, we play basketball. Whether you're a football player, a soccer player, if you don't do nothing else, you know how to play basketball. You at least know how to play. You might not be the best, but you know how to play the game. You know how to shoot a jumper. You just know these things. So shout out to him, and let's talk about his preseason prospects to watch this season. We got Weston Shreves. We got my boy. Now, this is his list now. I mean, we'll worry about my list later. But let's talk about the commissioner preseason picks. Weston Shreves. Gary Perkins. Shout out to Gary. And somehow he had a growth spurt, and then he just somehow was able to play basketball at some point. He loved basketball growing up. But at some point, he got the body to go with it. He got a jumper, too. I didn't see that much in the preseason. I did see, I didn't see the consistent jumper that I'm used to seeing out of him, but it is what it is. But Gary is definitely there. Aaron Huggins, shout out to him. He's a multi-sport athlete. When it come down to softball, but he played baseball, y'all. I'm not just saying softball to do my dog wrong. But he played. He's a multi-sport athlete. He's got a jumper. He's out here. They had Jordan Worley. I think he might be the biggest person, maybe next to Steve Smith, which we'll get into him in a second. 6'6", big guy. Big guy. So he might actually have some dominating qualities. We'll see. They got Caleb Mallory, former Ball State alum. Well, not former Ball State alum. He's an alum, but former Ball State player. He played at Ball State. Shout out Chirp Chirp Nation. You know how that goes. When it comes to being a point guard, I like him a lot. He's very unselfish. He'll play defense. He'll score if he needs to. I wouldn't say that he's just ready to just attack and do all that, but dude can get to the basket. I'll tell you that much. So they got Caleb out there. They got his brother, his little brother Kobe. Shout out to Crosstown apparently. Kobe in Crosstown. It's going down. Now, if you ask me, the boy from Whiteley. Now, I'm just going to go on about my business. I'm going to keep it moving. They got Shane Timmons. I don't know much about him, but definitely can get some buckets. They got my cuz, TJ. TJ is the man. I didn't know he had it like that. About 6'5", 6'6", something like that. Maybe 6'4". I don't know. I just look at somebody like that. He taller than me, so he got to be more than 6'2". Score at will, does what he wants to. He's a bad boy, so he's definitely somebody to watch. Tyreek, young boy. Now, he's young. This is what I want to know about him. Do you got that go? Do you got that going? Do you got that go? That's my assessment of this game, is he can do whatever he wants to, and he actually can be very dominant. Very dominant. He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. Oh, he's just an incredible guy. Very nice. Do you got that dog? Can you take over? Because you're so nice. Can you take over? That's something I want to see. But he's somebody to watch. He's definitely somebody to watch. They got Dalvin Strong. Definitely, he's a big dog. He's always been aggressive. He's a nice guy, too. But he do got a little dog in him. He'll shoot that ball. He'll try and get you 30 every now and then. Nizell and Larry Llewellyn, I don't know much about them. I know about Tay, though. I know about Tay. Tay gonna give it to you. Whether it's the rebounds or playing some defense and all that. Tay is always somebody to watch. He's been somebody to watch ever since we were kids. Now we grown at this point, but he's always going to go get it. So shout out to Tate. And I'm actually surprised because Tracy wasn't on this list. Tracy, y'all know Tracy Johnson. He wasn't on this list. But when I think of Tate, I think of Tracy. And they both had different games, but they was kind of the same, but they had different games. They were rivals going up. Tate, at this point, they're saying that he's the prospect to watch. And they omitted Tracy. So I'm excited to see how that happens. I think we're going to go ahead and do it. We'll talk about that in a second. They got my boy Trey. I watched him. He just won a championship game down there at the Hamilton Fieldhouse down there in Indianapolis. He's a scoring point guard. That's what he does. Yeah, that's his game. He'll score. He'll put pressure on the defense, and he'll score on like 3 people. That's his game. So that's what he does. I got a lot of respect for his game. Dave Rollins, a big body, OG, big body. He can do what he does. And I saved my prospect for last. My prospect is Robert Wynn. Y'all know Bobby. My prospect is Bobby Wynn. And I know my fans out there that y'all stay out there in Cali and Utah and Florida and Texas and all, I can name every state, honestly. But Rob Wynn is a baller. Rob Wynn is a baller. It is what it is. You can't take that away from Rob Wynn. He's a baller. He is. Scorer, all that. You get him engaged on defense, he might get him all clip block in the back or something like that. He might show up. But if he don't show up nowhere else, it's gonna be in that score part of the scorebook. It's gonna be a lot of scratches over there. Rob Wynn can play ball. And I'm not saying like he's old or anything, but he's definitely in his prime. And he does it so effortlessly. I'm just saying Rob Wynn is the one to watch when it comes to this. And then also another person. If y'all can just believe in Johnny Bennett for a hot second, if y'all can just believe in his basketball acumen, if y'all can just leave all the jokes alone. Leave all the jokes alone for a hot second. Give Johnny his credit. Let him lead the team or let him be the focal point as far as getting everybody involved and all that. Johnny Bennett is going to be somebody to watch in this league too. So that's what I saw based off of this preseason. I believe they start on the 7th. That's when the actual season stuff starts. Like I said, go holler at Eric Jefferson. Follow him. Do that. Make sure y'all watch it because that's where all the action is going to be at. If it ain't on his page, it's going to be somewhere affiliated where he's tagged in it so you can watch the games. And that's been the most beautiful part of this, other than the fact that it's a lot of people with a lot of pride out there that's playing in this league. They've been going home like ain't nothing happened. I've been seeing people in the gym that I ain't seen in the gym in a long time. I've been seeing a lot of people putting work into this. This is going to be a good league. And a lot of people y'all thought was whack back in the day, maybe when it was younger and whatnot, they a little bit different. You got to play them a little bit different. I ain't trying to bring it up like as if Tracy was bad or nothing like that. I'm just saying he got a different body now, and you got to play him differently, man. It's different. When we was kids and stuff, we quick, we slash to the basket, dunk, all that stuff. But what happens when you turn out to be, 210 all muscle? You still long. And you can make some different plays. So this is gonna be a great season. I'm happy to watch it. I'm happy to be a part of it. So keep your eye on that. King of the Court. Big deal. Getting into our last topic is Super Bowl week. Radio Row looked a little bit different than it used to be. It used to be fat, but now it's 6 feet distancing. It looked like you're having a banquet at the Minnetrista. Just the chairs all apart, the tables all apart, 6 feet. All that is different, and it's not a room full of people. But these are the odds. I'm gonna tell you where my money is at. So they got the Chiefs favored by 3. So that not only are the Chiefs supposed to win, they're supposed to win by at least 3. So that would mean 2.5, something like that, in order to say that you won in Vegas. Whew! This is a tough one. The Chiefs are down a couple of linemen, a couple of left tackles, which would be Mahomes' blind side. I'm not really sure how that's going to affect him because he is mobile in a sense. He can get out of trouble. So I don't know if it's just like the lineman. Unless they let people go straight through the gap and just sack him every time, I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference. But that blind side and feeling that pressure and all that, I'm not sure. But I can say this. It may come down to the coaches. And it's going to be offensively. And then I think for the Packers, not the Packers, but for the Buccaneers, it's going to be more of a defensive game for them. It's going to come down to, oh, dang, I can't tell. It's playmakers on both sides of the ball. The Buccaneers have shown to be an improving defense. They have a pass rush. That's how they got on Aaron Rodgers' ass. But there's different mentalities when it comes to him and Mahomes. And I would say that Kansas City, I'm not sure if their pass rush is like that. Can you keep Tom Brady on his toes? I'm not worried about Mahomes being all flustered and all that by a pass rush. But I am a little concerned about Tom Brady if he gets a pass rush, that's because he's taking some hits this year. So it's gonna come down to that. But who am I betting on? Tom Brady is really hard to bet against nowadays. I'm trying to tell you. Tom Brady he's doing something we've never seen before. But it's a legacy thing. Like, somebody's story is going to be written off of this game. Like, Tom Brady is already considered a GOAT, but he's 43. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Patrick Mahomes, who looks like he fits the part of GOAT at this point. Makes every throw. He can make every throw. He wins games. He does what he does. If Tom Brady wins, it's just solid. That's it. But if Patrick Mahomes wins, he opens the door to where we can have that real serious conversation. Because we were talking about that with Aaron Rodgers last week, that even though he doesn't have as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady, because of his talent, we can put him in that conversation. But because he lost, I hate to say it, Aaron Rodgers is out of that. He's out of that conversation. He was one hell of a quarterback, great quarterback, really good. But he's not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. And last week was his chance to show it. So Mahomes has it in a different way. Just he's in a position where he can start the the GOAT conversation. Whereas Tom Brady can shut the door on that GOAT stuff. So this is going to be a good one. And my pick, I'm going with the quarterback. I'm sorry, I got to go with the quarterback. I love greatness. Like I said last episode, we lost Kobe last January. We lost Kobe. And just to see greatness be gone from us. We'll never see some of these things ever again. And it's like a part of me wants to see Tom Brady do it again because he's great. But you want to pass the torch to somebody else to be great. I'm going to have to give y'all my answer on Saturday. I'm going to have to sleep on this. I'm not really sure. It might even be Sunday before. And me and the rest of the 99 ENT crew, we're going to have a special after the Super Bowl. But I'm going to do a quick one for y'all on Saturday or Sunday morning. Because I need to think about this. Because my heart is torn between both quarterbacks. So I'm not really sure. But I think I'm leaning towards I want Mahomes to win, but I also want to see what it's like for Tom Brady to win a 7th and watch the confetti fall and watch greatness. But it would shut the door on Mahomes, in a sense, future, unless he just runs off like 7 Super Bowls in a row, which is not very likely. I don't know. I'm gonna get back with y'all on that. But now, ladies, if you're looking for somebody whose heart is not torn between anything, because when it's just me, then it's just you, and then it's just us. Look no further than ChristianMingle.com. Follow me. I am Bartholomew. Look, Bartholomew. Look me up. I'll be out there. You know how I do. You know how I do. Look me up on there, and then we go to devotion and all that stuff. All right, and go to Spotify. You know we on Spotify. Go to Apple Podcasts. You know I'm on Apple. Go to Google Podcasts. You know I'm with Google. I'll see y'all on Fridays at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going down, so you can see me on YouTube. Man, once again, it's been another episode of Do You Hear Me? With Unico Williams. I holla.